folks, and welcome back to another bright and shiny morning here at B2B Breakfast to Business with your morning girl, Bea Lim, Managing Director of Team Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on our 11th episode in our second season, talking shop, talking life, talking real for you to be in the know and in the now. So last week, we discussed the essence of why, our brand purpose, and how it translates into meaningful brand experiences, especially in this future reimagined. 9 months into the pandemic, we are seeing constant change as the name of the game, keeping us on our toes, creative and resourceful on planning the next move, and resilient in looking for ways to keep pushing forward. Now, while change is happening all around us, what we do see is the intense craving, right, for connections, genuine connections between brands and customers, clients and partners, colleagues, friends, communities, everyone, really. Because in a world where the next thing is almost always a mystery, what we need next to purpose is a reliable partner to make things happen and navigate through new waters together. So today, we decided that we wanted to talk about the partner of meaningful brand experiences, which is really meaningful partnerships, the art of client servicing. Now, two things that are deeply ingrained in the Team Asia culture are first, being an awesome valued partner, and two, always creating and safeguarding a culture of collaboration. In the past, a lot of industries speak and best practices were focused on words such as customer centric or customer first. Now, while those still ring very true today, we've seen that really bringing out the partnership in any given situation requires a different kind of mindset, a partner's mindset. Instead of giving it all in a give and take scenario, we have to look into ways to put ourselves in the same league, same level, to better understand and drive collective goals forward. It's not just about looking at the best way to achieve a brand or client's objectives. It's about being able to provide all the possible scenarios. The pros and cons attached to it, the pushes to make things happen, and sometimes the strings to actually pull back on something if it's not working out. Also making that big decision to recalibrate if need be. Because it's not just about the challenge at hand. It's always about the bigger picture, the overall brand or customer objective that we should be watching out for. Like any chess game, right? You're not focused on just one move at a time. You're actually looking at the whole chessboard, the whole game, the whole strategy. Now, this is definitely nothing new, ladies and gentlemen. We've heard sage advice from our customer service experts and our industry thought leaders. I'm so sure that many of us have also looked into a ton of best practices and studied how we can actually weave it into our strategies. The best way to client service. So yes, this is nothing new. What's new, however, is the playground we are in. This new environment is evolving at an accelerated pace due to limitations set by the pandemic and, the economic struggles the world is facing today. So, how do we ensure we provide meaningful experiences for our customers or clients in an age that they are really craving for this genuine connection? How do we client service individuals or brands with shifting priorities and in an ever changing environment with a lot of uncertainty or noise around? Right? So many questions around the art of client servicing, something that was, super innate, something that was already we were already working our way in terms of being able to provide excellent service. And then we are hit with this kind of new thing. So, we went back to that question. How do we actually client service, individuals or brands if our own shifting priorities are happening in an ever changing environment? Simple. Go back to your core and use things that are at your disposal, that's second nature to you, which would be our senses. So one of my favorite grounding exercises, which I discovered from the Calm app, I'm sure a lot of you guys already have it. If you don't, please do check it out. It is life changing. So one of these grounding exercises that I've discovered is actually an exercise of stopping what you are doing and taking a couple of deep breaths and allowing your five senses to take over and ground you. So the exercise goes like this. First, you, of course, stop what you're doing and take a couple of deep breaths. And then you start writing in your journal, or it can be any piece of paper actually. First, you need to write 5 things you see. Then you move to observe 4 things you can hear. Then you start writing 3 things you can actually touch. Then you move on over to 2 things that you can smell. And the last thing that you write is the 1 thing that you can taste. Now, this exercise has helped ground me at times when I felt I was, not in control, unable to concentrate, or put a handle on things. It has allowed me to go back into the present moment and see what I can control, which is what I can see, what I can hear, touch, smell, and taste. So I was thinking today, I wanted to use this grounding exercise actually in bringing out the art of client servicing, or the art of providing meaningful experiences to our customers, clients, colleagues, and communities. Despite the uncertainties around, one thing we can go back to are the things we have in control of. It's already innate in our systems. We just have to drop down and use them mindfully. Whether your client or customer is looking at solving a challenge, or maybe they're stressing out about the latest crisis, or maybe they're challenging you to come up with the next big solution and get creative. Don't just put yourselves in your client's shoes. Ladies and gentlemen, be the partner that is right beside them, using the very same senses that they have. Let's break it down. First, use your eyes and your sense of sight. Observe what's happening around you from a macro to micro approach. What's happening in the world, in your region, country, community, brand, client. Look at the challenge your client has given you. See the big picture and then focus on various parts that make up the big picture, just like a puzzle piece. Let your eyes take in what they can see and imagine various scenarios that can play out. Once you've seen it, I'd like to challenge you to use your ears and your sense of hearing. Don't just hear things out. Listen. Listen to what people are saying. Listen to what your client is saying. But more importantly, listen to what they are not saying. Because at a time where there is so much pressure to survive, recover, and thrive, people have a lot on their minds, plates, and hearts. When we listen, we have to listen not only to the things that we can obviously hear or what's being said. What we need to do is to listen to the things that are below surface level to fully grasp and understand the situation. When you use your eyes and ears to scope the area, you're actually able to make yourself more aware of the environment and informed of the situation. It actually allows you to take charge of that situation better, helping you to be 3 or 5 steps ahead of your client to help them find solutions, right? So the third step is to actually use your sense of smell. And these are the 2 things that I want you to do. First, sniff, right? Number 1, sniff. Sniff out the opportunities that will help reach your overall goals. Sniff out issues that need to be taken care of ASAP so you don't experience roadblocks. 2, use your sense of smell to breathe. Be the one to remind your client to breathe through the challenge you are tackling together. Whether it's a big crisis or an exciting new project, you need to be the steady beat in your partnership. Breathe in and out. Make sure things are alive and kicking. Be the breath of fresh air. Use your sense of smell to take you on the right path. If it stinks, abort the mission. You guys know this, right? If you can smell the roses, then maybe you're in the path that you should be exploring, right? It could be a good omen. There's an old saying, stop and smell the roses. It's not about taking your sweet time and wasting it, I believe. It's about knowing when to pause so you can also move forward better, to not get caught up in the noise or everything that's happening around you. So once again, use your sense of smell to sniff out the opportunities, probably sniff out the issues that you don't want to be part of. And number 2, breathe. You need to be that steady beat. Our 4th sense is the sense of taste, which is your palate. Now, I know, folks, this may seem strange to you, but this is actually where your creativity and resourcefulness will come in handy. Think of your sense of taste as the first step in creating a menu full of solutions for your client or brand. It can be a short-term solution that can just whet your client's appetite, or it could be a 10-course meal that really drives your objectives home in the long term. The point is, your client needs options, not just one sole solution. Always have a second, third, or fourth idea. You need to be able to provide various solutions and also the various scenarios attached to it. You know, we've said it once here before at B2B. There are 26 letters in the English alphabet, right? And there are hundreds of cuisines around the world. Ergo, I believe we will never run out of solutions. So use your sense of taste and create a menu that you yourself can whip up and can stomach as well. Remember, you are partners in this. If you won't do it, don't even think about telling your client to do it because partners go hand in hand. You guys do things together. Speaking of hands, the fifth sense that I just really want to point out there is using your sense of touch. We hear this often, right? A lot of people just tell you, add your personal touch, add your personal magic. So, what I'm going to say is feel it out, make it personal. Understand not only using your eyes, your ears, your head. You have to understand from the heart. I don't want to say just put yourself in your client's shoes once again, right? Put yourself in your client's feelings. Empathy, compassion, kindness, and just good old plain understanding. Because remember, we are all going through something huge, something world changing in today's times. If your priorities and worldviews are changing, so are theirs. So make them know that you know and understand, that you're with them every step of the way, with your own touch of magic. Because I'm telling you, when times are tough, it really does make a huge, absolutely huge difference knowing someone is right beside you. I would like to bring back that old African proverb: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. You probably think, okay, we're done because we only have five senses. I actually want to throw in another bone, which is actually for me what I believe the real magic behind meaningful partnerships. It's your sixth sense, intuition. Do not dismiss it. Do not say it doesn't matter. Do not sweep it under the rug. I always believe that intuition is the most important of all of our senses. Why? Because it speaks to your gut. It speaks to your core. It is able to tell you to fight, flight, freeze, or move forward. That allows you to have a sense and feel of the room. Again, it allows you to feel the room. Feel it. Don't just do what's in your checklist. Feel it. Get a sense of it. Is your client really happy? Is he or she really fully present right now, listening to you? Or are their thoughts somewhere else? Do they want to hear your whole speech, or do they just want to get to the bottom of things? Are they scared about the outcome, or are they excited to experiment and move things around? Are they really 100% backing up your solutions, or is that 1% doubt of still needing to run through it again a fifth time just to be sure? Do they want to see the whole plan laid out step by step, or do they just want you to remind them that you have everything under control? Feel the room. Is it time to push, or is it time to back down? Sense the room. Trust your instincts and just do it. When you take on a partner's mindset, ladies and gentlemen, you are right there with your client. It's not imagination. It's not just staring out at space and imagining what it's like to be in their shoes or to be in their own customer's shoes, right? No. You are there, as real as it gets. You know what it looks like, you know what it sounds like, you know what it smells like, you know what it tastes like, you know what it feels like, and you know deep down inside what to do. Because partners find solutions together. And that's what makes it meaningful, inside out. Not a one-way talking, not even a two-way talking, because this meaningful partnership or a partner's mindset is always about a journey experienced together, hand in hand. One foot in front of the other, both of you walking that path. Now, our team's mantra and everyday goal is to bring our brands to the next level experience, and we fondly call it NLE. NLE is not just about providing the most fantastic, award-winning, impactful campaigns, solutions, and services that will hit excellent end results or that will get you customer satisfaction score up, right? It encompasses every aspect of a project and even goes beyond that. But most importantly, client servicing which produces next level partnerships. Our content director, Sid, you guys know him from our How to Get Away with Crisis episode. We were just talking the other day because he attended a conference of independent agencies around the world early this week. So, one of the main takeaways he got from that panel discussion resonated with me so well because it was on this particular topic of partnerships. Tanisha Jackson Warner, founder and CEO of the Egami Group, so beautifully summarized the concept of partnership in this global pandemic. She said, in today's world, we are all partners in purpose and partners in pain. And wow, ladies and gentlemen, my goodness, that was just a beautiful way of actually redefining what partners in crime actually means. And that is the partner's mindset. Next level, always providing more, but knowing that you guys are in this together. Not because you're just imagining, but because you are there as real as it gets. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a partner's mindset to capture the art of client servicing in a time of so many uncertainties, the noise, and the majorly shifting landscapes. When it gets too rough and when it gets too tough and overwhelming, go back to what grounds you. Being a partner is not rocket science, it's a sense of community. And we are all born to connect with people, guys. Always take a look, take a step back, make sure that you create meaningful, impactful, and relevant connections to survive and thrive in this pandemic. That's it, ladies and gentlemen, for today's B2B episode on having the sense of the room, a partner's mindset, and really the art of client servicing at a time where we feel we're so limited with what's going on in this world, right? We'd love to hear more about what you think actually on the topic of meaningful brand experiences and sensing the room. Please share the love and share your thoughts on our social media platforms. You know, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we are on Instagram, so don't forget to tag us. And let's talk there, guys. Let's expand this conversation. We talked about purpose last week, we expanded it to brand experiences, and now actually providing that client servicing in the midst of really creating these meaningful brand experiences, right? Also, please don't forget to check out our website, www.teamasia.com, for more information on our upcoming episodes. And we really want to hear from you. We've got some very exciting episodes lined up, actually. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So check out our space. We're looking at, what are the other things we should be really putting down in our checklist as we venture further into the now normal. And also, guys, as we plan for 2021, yep, that's the reality of a Q4 timing in any year is preparing for the next. So at this point, folks, I'm going to be wishing you guys a wonderful weekend and a wonderful week ahead. Shine bright, stay safe, take care, and see you next week here at B2B Breakfast to Business. Thanks, guys. Bye.